Hey guys, thank you for joining me for math today. So today we're going to do lesson 9.9, which is practicing time to the hour and half hour. So let's just do a little bit of review before we get started. Okay, so here is our clock, and the big hand, the blue hand, is the minute hand. Go ahead and say that, the minute hand. All right, and the red hand, the little hand, is the hour hand. Go ahead and say that, hour hand. So repeat with me. Minute hand, hour hand. Okay, your turn. Thank you, wonderful. All right, so when the hour hand is pointing directly to a number and the minute hand is pointing at the 12, that is what I like to call an o'clock number, because whenever you say that time, you're going to say o'clock with it. So right now it is 9 o'clock. Okay, so how about now? Go ahead and tell someone in your house what time it is. Wonderful, thank you so much. All right, and when the minute hand is pointing directly at the 6, it's right on the 6, that's what I like to call a 30 time. Okay, because every hour has 60 minutes, and if you cut that in half, if you split that into 2 parts, it is 30 minutes. So the hour hand will look like it's between 2 numbers. And then the minute hand points directly at the 6. So this time would be 10:30. So you could also say this time as 10:30. So you could either say this is 10:30, or you could say 10:30. And the reason we would say half past is because the hour hand is past the 10, but it is not quite at the 11. It is halfway past the 10. The reason for that, let's go ahead and go to 10 o'clock, okay? Now, the minute hand moves down as time passes, okay? It moves down. And then when it's right there at the 6, look at where the hour hand went. It is between the 10 and the 11. So it is 10:30. And so this is how you would write those times. So let's go ahead and look at that part. Okay, so it's a little tough to see. So it is 10:30. So when it is 10:30 or 10:30, you would write it like this, okay? And when it is right on the 10, when the hour hand is right on the 10 and the minute hand is right on the 12, it is 10 o'clock. So 10:00. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So Barbara goes to the store at 8 o'clock. So up here, we're going to circle the clock that shows 8 o'clock. So remember, o'clock means that the minute hand, the big hand, is on the 12, and the hour hand would be pointing directly to the 8. So let's take a look at our first clock here. Where is the minute hand pointing? Go ahead and say the number. Absolutely, it's pointing to the 6. So that's what we call a 30 time or half past time. So the hour hand is between the 8 and the 9. So that means that it's a 30 time. It's 8:30, and we want exactly 8 o'clock. So let's go ahead and look at the next clock. The hour hand is pointing directly at the 8. The minute hand is pointing directly to the 12. And remember, 12 is an o'clock time. So this is the one that shows 8 o'clock. Okay, now Barbara is then going to take Rhea, maybe that's her dog, for a walk at 1:30. Circle the clock that shows 1:30. So that's this one here. So remember, a 30 time, where is the minute hand pointing when it's a 30 time? Go ahead and tell your mom. okay? So if the minute hand is on the 6, then look at these 3 clocks. Which one has the minute hand on the 6? The 30 time, the half past time. This one. So this one must be it. Now look at the hour hand. It's between the 1 and the 2. So it is half past 1 and it is 1:30. Let's go ahead and circle that one. Perfect. Okay, so we're probably going to do 3 of these, and then you can do the rest on your own, or you can come to office hours sometime next week and sometime this week, and we can do these together. All right, so where should you draw the minute hand to show the time? So look here, it's 9 o'clock. So I'll just trace that. 9 and 2 zeros is just like saying o'clock. Okay, so when it's an o'clock time, where should the minute hand be? Go ahead and tell someone in your house. All right, it should be right at the 12. You're absolutely right. So let's make our minute hand go all the way to the 12. So when you're drawing the hands on all of these clocks, it's going to ask you to draw the minute hand, So when you're drawing your minute hand, make sure that your minute hand goes all the way to the number. You see this circle around in the middle of it? That is where your hour hand should stop. So notice how the hour hand is the small hand, the little hand, and that stops at that line. So when you draw your minute hand on all of these clocks, make sure that your minute hand, the big hand, goes past that line and goes straight to the either to the 12 or to the 6, wherever it goes. Okay, so this time over here is going to be 9:30. So where should the minute hand or the big hand point if it's a 30 time? Go ahead and tell someone in your house. Absolutely, it should point to the 6 because it is half past 9. It is between the 9 and the 10. All right, so let's go down here. Use the hour hand to write the time and then draw the minute hand. So look at where the hour hand is pointing here. It's pointing at the 4. So since it's pointing directly at the 4, what kind of time is it? Is it an hour? Is it an o'clock time or is it a 30 time? Go ahead and tell someone in your house. Absolutely, it is an o'clock time. When it's an o'clock time, it goes directly to the 12. And so now what time is it? 4 o'clock. And we would write 4 o'clock with our 2 zeros. Okay? So a good way to think about this is if the big hand is right at the 12, you know that you're going to have 2 zeros. If the big hand is at the 6, you're going to have a 3 and a 0. That's why I call it a 30 time or an o'clock time. Okay, so look at number 2. So where is the hour hand? Is it right at the 11? No. Is it right at the 12? Nope. It is half past the 11, but it's not quite to the 12. So that means it is a 30 time. So if it's a 30 time, it goes straight to the 6 and 11:30. Because remember, a 30 time, when it's at the 6, you just write 30. So it is 11:30. All right, let's look at this one. Where's the hour hand? It is not at the 6. It is not at the 7. It is half past the 6. Okay, so when it is half past, where is the minute hand? Is it at the 12 or is it at the 6? Go ahead and tell someone in your house. Absolutely, it is at the 6. So we're going to put that minute hand right there to the 6. And so it is half past 6. I guess it's kind of tough to see because I drew my minute hand over it. So it is half past 6, which is going to be a 30 time. All right, so you're going to do 4, 5, and 6 on your own, and then this page. Make sure that when you draw your minute hand has to be longer than the hour hand. Look at our clock. the minute hand is longer than the hour hand. So let me put them right on top of each other. See, if they're right on top of each other, see how the minute hand goes farther? The hour hand stops right about here, but the minute hand goes farther. Okay, so look at number 13. What is the error? Zoe tried to show 6 o'clock, but explain how to change the clock to show 6. So does this show 6 o'clock? No, Zoe made her mistake. How did she make her mistake? Look at the minute hand. Look at the hour hand. Think about what her mistake was and explain where the minute hand should go instead of where it is. Okay, let's go back here. Vince goes to a baseball game at 4:30. So draw to show what time Vince goes to a baseball game. So here's 4:30. So you're going to show on this clock, it doesn't have any hands. So you have to show where the 4 is going to go. You're going to show where the hour hand is supposed to go and where the minute hand is supposed to go. And look, it's a 30 time. So remember, where does the minute hand go when it's a 30 time or a half past time? Okay, number 15, Brandon has lunch at 1 o'clock. Write and draw to show what time Brandon has lunch. So same thing over here. He has lunch at 1 o'clock. So think about where the minute hand goes at 1 o'clock and where the hour hand goes at 1 o'clock. Should the hour hand go directly at the time, or should the hour hand go between two numbers? And then you're also going to write that here with the number and then the colon, and it's either going to have 30 or it's going to have 2 zeros, like o'clock. All right. So down here, Juan tried to show 8:30, but he made a mistake. So what did Juan do wrong? Explain his mistake. So if Juan is trying to show 8:30, so 8:30 is the same as half past 8. So think about where the hour hand should be if it is a half past time. If it is half past, think about where the hour hand should be. All right, guys, so you'll also do this page and the back side. And then on Wednesday or whatever day you get to it, you're going to do the test. And I want you to try to do this on your own without help from your siblings or parents, so that you can really find out where you need to improve so that you know a little bit more about time. And I can help you through this a little bit, but I'm not going to tell you the answers. If you want to come to office hours and do this together, you can, but I'm not going to tell you the answers. I will help you through some of the problems, but I won't be able to tell you the answers. Okay? And if you'd like to come to office hours to work through any of this or work through the black and white page, that would be fantastic. I'd love to help you out. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day.